Welcome to the Self-Reliant Living Show, where we talk all about a self-reliant lifestyle to save money, live greener, eat healthier, and be prepared for anything so you can take care of the ones you love in good times and bad. I'm your host, Jennifer Osech, a homeschooling mom of 3 boys. I'm the author of the Preparedness Planner series, and my husband and I are the lead teachers of Self-Reliant School, a website dedicated to giving you the skills and confidence to take care of yourself and your community. Be sure to stop by and pick up your free videos from inside Self-Reliant School that will get you started growing, cooking, and preserving your own food today. You can pick these up at selfreliantschool.com/free. Now, on with the show. Okay, so we are going to get started today, and I'm hoping that you can see some of the stuff I've got out here for show and tell. But I'll be holding things up, and it always looks so crowded on this desk, but there's always so much I want to share with you. So forgive me for it looking cluttered, but there is a reason, because I want to, like I said, share a bunch of things with you. So I have notes over here so I don't forget anything, so please forgive me. As I get older, I do forget easily. So anyway, let me go ahead and go through some reasons that giving handmade gifts is better than store-bought. And I know that it's not every single time. It depends on the person who is receiving the gift. But I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say it's probably better 95 to even 99% of the time. And here are some reasons why. So the first one is that when you give a handmade gift, it's unique. Right? There's not really one exactly like it in the world anywhere else. Even if you do have a little bit of an assembly line going, you're making vanilla extract or whatever it is for more than one person, it's still unique to that batch. And I would even submit unique to that bottle, because you are putting your love into it and your care. And so there's not another one like it in the world. Okay, so that is super, super cool when you can give something that you can't find anywhere else. Okay, another thing is, and this is something of a little bit of a controversial point, but I still believe in it, and I want to explain why. So you can absolutely save money. Now, I know that if you go out and you buy the supplies to make something, and say you buy the supplies to make 10 or 50, and then you only wind up making 1. Yeah, that's not gonna save you money. It's cheaper to buy it. But if you plan it out and you go ahead and buy the supplies that you need to make as many as you want, you will absolutely save money. And I'm also not talking about something where it's a project where you're gonna have to buy a new tool, like a sewing machine or something like that. If you don't already own a sewing machine, going out and buying one just to make handmade gifts for this year, that you're right, that's not going to be cheaper. However, you can keep that sewing machine for for years and years, and eventually it'll pay for itself. But the point that I'm trying to make, that, and the things I'm going to show you here are super simple, and they are like I said, they will absolutely save you money if you're making them by hand and yourself. Okay. It keeps our traditions alive, because up until, gosh, just 100 years ago or so, most gifts were handmade, because most people made most of the things that they need at home. And so the thing is that a lot of these traditions are being lost. And if you make gifts for people, then you're sort of practicing those traditions, those skills, you're keeping them alive, hopefully passing them down to your children. And so that is another reason I feel like it's important to make some handmade gifts. Okay, so this also is a perfect solution for a person who has everything, because if they have everything, you don't know, right? So knowing a little bit about their personality can help you go ahead and find a unique gift that is nowhere else in the world, and you can hand make it. So that's another reason. The fifth reason, we're doing 8, by the way. Did I say that? I meant to say that. 8 reasons. Okay, so the fifth one is quality. Quality. Because if you are able to spend time crafting whatever it is that you're making, that's more time spent on that item than, say, in a factory or some other place that they may not be able to spend as much time on that particular thing. So quality is a big thing. You can definitely make high quality gifts when you make them yourself, especially if you are, you've done it year after year. Those skills are, you're really good at them. So you can make high quality gifts. 7, and this one's a biggie, at least for me, and that is that you can control the ingredients. So especially if you're giving a food gift or something that you put on your skin, something that you can consume on your body, that you can give a non-toxic gift. So you control the ingredients that go into the gift, and I think that ups the quality, and that just is something, like I said, it's important to me, and I'm sure that it's important to you as well. Okay, then here's another one. This is our last one. It is helpful when you are trying to teach the real reasons behind giving to children, right? So because you have that time with them that you're spending making the gift together, or at least supervising, and that is some time that you can discuss the person and be thoughtful and really have it come from the heart. So I feel like that's a very teachable thing to do with your family, with your children, and so that is probably one of the more important reasons to make your own gifts. Okay, so now we're going to get to making these gifts that are super, super fast, because that's the thing. That's what I think holds us back from making handmade gifts, is because, I don't have the time, or where am I going to get all the stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing, all of that sort of thing. So what I'm trying to show you here today is that, sometimes it's just super simple. They go together in 10 minutes, and not all of them, but some of them. So just keep in mind that if that's one of the things holding you back is, I don't have time, or I can't plan it out, it doesn't have to be a quilt. It doesn't have to be a quilt. It's nice if you quilt, more power to you. But if you don't quilt, and if it's something you don't have time for, no worries. You can absolutely still do handmade gifts. Okay, so the first thing I am going to show you, I was teasing yesterday in the Back to Basics Living group I had a picture of the jar, and I asked, okay, what is that? So if you got the email, but it is vanilla infused sugar. So there's a couple of different ways to make this. I'm going to show you how to do it the super fast way, because you can do it where you just stick the vanilla pods in, and then let it infuse over a long time. But my way goes really fast. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So what we're going to do, like I said, super simple. We're going to take some vanilla beans here that I have. And like I said, I'm so sorry that everything is cluttered, but I just want to show you so much. So bear with me with that. Hopefully I have everything I need here. This is not my kitchen. This is my office studio. So I have my children bring up everything I need. So I'm crossing my fingers they got everything. Okay, so vanilla beans. Let me just say a word or two about those, because there are different grades of vanilla beans. These happen to be grade B. And so let me tell you a little bit about vanilla. You can get them in grade A and grade B. And most people think, oh, well, grade A is better and I need to have grade A. The thing is that grade A is for dessert making. So they're going to be a little bit more moist on the inside. So you really want, for this purpose, to have grade B, because they're drier and we don't want to add a lot of moisture to our sugar. So grade B is what you want. If you have grade A, they will work. It's fine. You don't have to go out and buy more, but you just want to check the sugar. You could put it on a cookie sheet to dry after you mix it if you feel like that those beans were super moist, because you don't want your sugar to clump. Okay, so, oh yeah, you can see me do this. Okay, so I was trying to figure out, okay, how can I show you really what I'm doing here with the vanilla beans, but I think you could really see this. Okay, so the recipe is super simple. It is 3, I'm using grade B here, vanilla beans, and it's 2 cups of sugar. So if you have a little bit longer, you could go with 2 beans. I just, I'm going with 3, and I love vanilla, so it's not anything for me to keep adding vanilla beans. Anyway, these are grade B, and they are not as moist, like I said. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slice them. Ooh, you can see that. Okay, so I'm just gonna slice them. Now, because they're not as moist, you may not be able to scrape them as easily, and that is just perfectly fine. We're gonna use our food processor here to help with that. If you can scrape them, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. Hopefully I can get into this one. If you scrape them, what you're gonna do is you're gonna split the bean. Can you see that? Yeah. You're gonna split the bean just like this. And then you are going to go ahead and open it. Let me see if I can show you. So you're gonna open it like this, and you can see all those vanilla beans in there. They're so yummy, and it smells so good. Okay, so I'm just going to split it as best I can. And then I am going to scrape out the beans, just like this. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see it. Cool. Okay, so here are my vanilla beans, and I'm scraping. And like I said, this is drier because this is grade B. So if you have grade A, this will go much smoother. If they're too dry, don't worry about it. If they're dry, what you can do is you can cut them in half, you know, determine whether you can scrape them out or not. And then if you can't, you can just go ahead and cut them even more, probably like into about 1/4 of an inch pieces, and then you can skip this part. But if you can do it. And I haven't come across any that I really can't. There's been like maybe 1 or 2 pods in a bunch that I haven't been able to, or that it was just too hard for me to do, and I just decided that I'll just cut it. But as you can see, like I said, these are grade B, and I'm not having a really hard time doing it. So, like I said, there are 2, 3, there's tons of ways to make this. But what we're doing is we're doing the fast track. So let me just say, while I'm doing this with my beans here and trying to get some of the, or my pods and trying to get the beans out, let me just go over the other ways to do this. So if you have more time, what you could do is you could scrape out the vanilla beans, and then you could just stick them in the sugar and stir the sugar really good. And you can leave the pods long like this, and you can just stick them in there, and then you can shake the sugar every now and again. And of course, the longer you leave it, the more vanilla flavor. But a lot of us don't have that kind of time. And well, it's still November, so you have a little time. But let's just say maybe you have a party or something like that that takes place sooner rather than later, right? You're not gonna wait all the way till Christmas Day, and you wanna get this going. So you're gonna do exactly what I'm doing. And I have one more to do here. I'm taking out all of the pods or all of the beans from the pod. I just get them confused when I talk. But the long thing is the pod, and what I'm scraping out is the beans. Okay, so here's that. That's probably good enough. And they will be kind of sticky, so be sure you have something to wipe your hands on. I have something down here. Okay. So now that I've scraped all of the beans out, I am going to go ahead and just cut them a little bit more. And then, not even going to worry, you know, about it too much. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 cups of sugar. right here. This is organic evaporated cane juice. So I highly recommend that you get something that's not just white sugar, but white sugar will do if that's all you have. Okay, and you can do this in a blender. If you have a high-speed blender, you could just mix it too. You don't have to use a food processor, but this is my favorite way to do it. So this is a 2-cup measuring cup. So I don't want you to think, oh, she's just putting a cup there. No, it's a 2-cup. So I'm just going to measure some sugar out. And then pour it in here. And then I'm going to put my vanilla beans in there. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just scraping them in there. All of them go in. And of course you can sit there and get every last one in because the vanilla is so good. Okay. Then my food processor is old. Okay, so it's a little noisy and it's a little dusty. So once I put it on, I'm gonna pulse it here for a minute, then I'm gonna check comments and I'm gonna let the dust settle. Okay, so, but this is all you do. Sugar and vanilla beans. Okay, so I'm gonna let that settle for a second and I am going to check comments here because I'm trying to make sure I'm getting everything I need to get and be on every place I need to be. Of course, my husband, Bill, he is the producer of the show and he does such a great job. Okay, so great. People are talking about the weather. Mary Lou. Oh, you're in Texas. Okay, great. Pat is in North Georgia, 70s and sunny. Yes, that's how it is here, which is beautiful weather. I'm not complaining at all. So I am trying to monitor all the comments, and if I am not seeing yours, which Facebook does not let me see all of them all of the time, I apologize, and I will get to questions and comments, suggestions, all of those things that I love, either here where Facebook is showing it to me or later on today. Okay, so then I've let the dust settle here. So all I'm going to do is take this, and then I've got a very pretty mason jar, and I can almost, that was so cool. I'm looking at the close-up, so I'm trying to let you guys see as much as possible of close-up what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to get a funnel, just like this, and I'm going to put my mixture in here. Now there are a little bits and pieces of the vanilla pod, and there goes some dust too. Sorry about that. If you see the dust, it's from the sugar. There are some pieces in there, so you probably, it depends on who you're giving it to. If somebody gave me this, I'd be like, oh, thank you very much. But if somebody, you're giving it to somebody who is not, you know, maybe familiar with infused sugar or even vanilla, you might want to go ahead and strain it. But what you want to do is you want to leave it in here. I'm going to get all that down. Okay. So perfect, right? 2 cups fits in there. And you can see, like I said, there's these little bits, right? So what you can do is you can leave it for about a week, and then you can go back and strain it if you would like to do that. Or a better idea would be to give a little strainer with the gift, because if they don't use it right away and it sits on their shelf, they can keep all the vanilla in there and it's going to be even that much more vanilla-y. So it just depends on the person that you're giving it to. But that is going to infuse it super fast if it's in chunks like that, and then you could either strain it, like I said, or give a strainer. Okay, so moving on to our second
Patty is
gift.
asking, what can you do with the sugar?
Oh, what can you do with the sugar? Okay, a ton of things. Okay, so you can put it in baking, like any kind of baking that requires sugar, you can put it in there. You can put it in things like tea, you can put it in coffee, you can put it in any kind of drink. You know, you could even put it in some of those fancy desserts, right, that are vanilla flavored, that you're using a couple of those grade A vanilla beans to do the rest of it. But if it calls for sugar, go ahead and put the vanilla sugar in there, because that's just going to make it even more vanilla-y. Like I said, you have to like vanilla to want to have that, but I love vanilla, and I know a lot of people do, and it just screams Christmas to me. So I love it. And so there's a ton of things. Anywhere you use sugar, you can use the vanilla sugar, and it just adds an extra yummy flavor. Okay, so let me go and go on to our second easy gift. I'm gonna try to make sure I can move all this stuff around and still make sure you guys can see. So that was like super simple. And even the straining, right? So you take that, if you decide to strain it, so you take that out of there, and even the straining, all of it together, not even 10 minutes. Probably wrap it, you know, just with a little piece of yarn or something, and put a tag on there. Still not up to 10 minutes. So that is super fast. And it's gourmet, right? That is a gourmet type of gift that you can give. Okay, and thank you, my dear husband, for monitoring, because I'm trying to see him. Facebook is crazy, and so it's not that I don't want to answer or see your comments, it's just Facebook doesn't show them to me. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to our next super simple gift, and that is we are making frankincense and myrrh perfume. Now, you don't have to use frankincense and myrrh to make perfume, but it's that time of year, and I love the scent of both frankincense and myrrh. It's kind of a woody smell, aroma, and of course they're essential oils, so they have a lot of benefits other than just being perfume. But you can get, you know, you can use your favorite oils, is what I'm getting at. It doesn't have to be these, but I wanted to share this recipe because of the time of year it is. So let me go ahead and show you how super easy this is. And I've got to make sure I've got all of my oils here. And this is the bottle we're going to put it in. Okay, so what we're going to do, and also you can leave, if you don't like cedar wood, leave it out. If you don't like myrrh, leave it out. The only thing that you can't leave out is the carrier oil, which we're using jojoba here. Can never say that. Jojoba. Jojoba. Yeah, I'm terrible with pronunciation. Okay, so that's the only thing you can't leave out is the carrier oil. But you don't have to use this particular kind. You can use almond oil. You can use apricot seed oil. You can use pretty much any oil. I mean, if in a pinch, olive oil, you're going to have an olive oily kind of smell. But in some cases that might be okay. In this case, I don't think it would. So, all right, the recipe is, and you can go to the show notes. I will have those up as soon as possible, and you will have the recipe. You'll have the exact recipe for the infused vanilla and for the frankincense and myrrh perfume. Okay, so this is a 10 milliliter roller bottle. And I think that Tracy is actually putting some links into the comments if you're interested in getting the vanilla beans and then this exact roller bottle, so that you would have you could use this exact recipe. So, okay, what we're gonna do, so when you make something with essential oils, you wanna put the essential oils in first, because when you fill it up, there's not an exact amount of the carrier oil, but there is exact amounts of the essential oils, so you want to put those in first. So we're going to start with 4 drops of cedar wood, and I like cedar wood, but I think it's kind of strong, so if you wanted to go with 2 drops, you could. I like my perfume pretty strong. So if you're not one of those people that likes it strong overall, you can just do half of the whole recipe. Okay, so there's 4. I'm trying to have my hands not shake or anything. And then, okay, so then there's 12 drops of vanilla essential oil, not vanilla extract. Do not use vanilla extract. Vanilla essential oil. Okay, so, and again, if you don't love vanilla, you can leave it out. I think it's going to be like super woodsy if you do that, and I love vanilla, so this is going to be 12 drops. Okay, so there's 12 drops of vanilla and 4 drops of myrrh. Let's see if I can get some myrrh here. I'm almost out. Okay. Okay. And then 6 drops of frankincense, same thing, I'm almost out, so let me make sure I can get it. Okay. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I am going to fill it up with the carrier oil. Okay, so let me see if I can do it here and make sure that I don't overflow. Okay, good enough. All right, so then what you're gonna do, these bottles come with a roller top, just like this. And can you see that? The little roller top, it's got a little plastic applicator here. So just going to push it down. And there you go, that is it. Get a label, put it on there, and you have got frankincense and myrrh perfume. That wasn't even 10 minutes. So super, super fast. Depending on the person, like I said, they may not appreciate the woody fragrance, but you can definitely make perfume with other essential oils. So you can definitely like cater it to the person that you're giving it to. So you cannot let time be a factor. There's no excuses. You totally have time for this, right? It's just less than 10 minutes. So if you are interested in handmade gifts, well, I'm going to check really quick again with comments and make sure that I'm getting everything. I know Tracy's in there, so she is taking care of everything. So thank you so much, Tracy. She is our wonderful, wonderful community manager in the Back to Basics Living group. So if you're not in that group, you need to get in that group. And the way you can get into that group is you can go to selfreliantschool.com, and right there on the homepage there is a there's a sign up form, and it says you belong here. You belong here, and that's how you get in. Okay, let me go over a couple of things, because these are not the only things that you can make rather quickly. Now, some of these things are a little bit more than 10 minutes, but certainly not more than an afternoon. So there is still time. There's lots of time. It's only November. Of course, if you see this in a week, it'll be December, but that's okay. And if you see this, you know, in next October, then still there will be lots of time then. But at the time of this recording, and it's still November, and there's still plenty of time. So I just want to go over some things that you could make. Here are some ideas. We have pot holders. You can make an essential oil diffuser. You can make a coffee mug, not diffuser. I have diffuser down here because I was writing diffuser, but a snuggie kind of thing where you keep your coffee warm. So you make it, and then you can keep or tea, you can keep it warm. You can make paracord jewelry, beeswax wraps. You could make tinted lip balm. and it is got all natural ingredients in it. This one I'm talking about. You can make some cinnamon ornaments. You can make soap. You can make soap. You can make infused maple syrup. Infused maple syrup. This one is infused with vanilla. Go figure, I love vanilla, right? And here's some more. And it is infused with more vanilla. I went crazy on the vanilla. But you can also infuse it with things like ginger. I have a recipe for a infused maple syrup with chai. So it's chai maple syrup. It's super yummy. You can make creamed honey, which is honey that is thick and spreadable rather than just the honey that you can pour. You can make extracts. You can make vanilla extract, but you can also make coconut extract. I have orange extract here. Don't you love these cute little bottles? Coffee extract, I've got that here too. And then lemon extract. I've got a lot of extracts. I love extract. Then you can also make creamed maple syrup. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you about this particular list is because these are all of the gifts that you can make inside the Christmas Gift Boot Camp, or the Handmade Christmas Gift Boot Camp. And so I want to tell you about it. Like I said, those are all the things that you can make. And a boot camp is something where you go in, you get it done, it's intense, and there's no, waiting around, I'll get to it, that sort of thing. It's let's go, let's share it, let me see what you're doing. We're in there to keep everyone accountable for making their own gifts this year. And so I wanted to share this with you because you can make all these really, 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 really great things, like I said, in an afternoon. The reason that it's so super special is because there's a step-by-step video tutorial. So there's no guessing about, what am I supposed to do next or anything like that. Then on top of that, there are written materials that you print out and you can put in a notebook. And I printed them out and I left them on my printer. So anyway, I was going to show you those. Bill, you want to go get those so I can show those? Because somebody would know where to get those. Anyway, there's written materials that you print out. Okay, so then under that, because it's like video, print out materials, then there's a complete supply list. So all you got to do is click and you get your supplies. They come in the mail, and then you've got your written materials and your video. Right. So some of the things, like I said, that you can make that we have there. Oh, I forgot the infused honey. This is infused with ginger. Oh, and it's so nice. It is so it's my favorite one. Okay, so the things I've been talking about here, vanilla extract, not only with vodka, but other things too. You can infuse it with different alcohols. Thank you, honey. I wanted to show you the written materials. Okay, so here are some of the written materials. So let me see if I can show you up close. Right, so we have step-by-step directions about like this, like that. Okay, so I don't think you can see it really up close, but I'm gonna hold it up. So you have all of your supplies. You have information about where to source things like honey and maple syrup. And you have the recipe, the complete recipe. So what you can do is you can print them all out, and then you can put them in a notebook, and you can have them in the kitchen while you're working. And you can have them for generations, right? You can share them with your children. Okay, so the boot camp is $49.97, and you get access to the videos, the tutorials, the supply list, the Facebook group for almost a year. You get access to everything until September 30th. Of course, you go ahead and keep the written materials forever, right? You just download those and put those in a notebook. So, right, $49.97. That is to have all of that done, because in order to research every single project and find out exactly the supplies and exactly how to do it, we have done all that for you. And so you can get in there, you can decide what you want to make, and then you can just make it in an afternoon. So a couple other things I want to show you is you can make paracord bracelet. Joshua, I don't know if you have seen past episodes of Self-Reliant Living Show. Joshua, my oldest son, he has a wearable paracord business, and he's been on showing how to tie paracord and also the benefits. But look how pretty, and you can make this in an afternoon. Isn't that gorgeous? And he has a couple of different things that you can make. It doesn't have to be a bracelet, it can be a necklace. And we have had people in the boot camp, in the Facebook group, we've had children making these. Oh, and they're so beautiful. They've done such a wonderful job. And that's the other thing, you get to share what you've done. You get to share that. Okay, so one other thing, a couple other things actually I want to share with you, and that is another thing you can make that's not food, but it's food related. And that is a notebook of your favorite recipes. I have laid this out so it's super easy. I've listed all of the supplies, and I've done all of the templates for you. And basically what this is we all have recipes from books, from cards, from everywhere, right? And where do you keep yours? Do you keep them in a notebook and they're all stashed in there? Do you keep them in a box or something? So what I did was I made this notebook to keep all of your favorite recipes in. And I made it accommodating to all different kinds of recipes in the way that you would get them. All the templates are there for you, and you can even customize your categories. I've made some for you, but if those are not something that your family needs or you need with your notebook, then you can customize them. But so we have page protectors for regular recipes. So some of these may go in there because they've got the recipes there. And then I've got page protectors here for recipe cards. So when somebody gives you a recipe, you can just stick it right in here. So all of the everything, all of the templates, all of the lists, all of everything is there for you, because that's one of the projects that we make. So that is super fun. I just had to show you. And the other thing I want to show you is I need a place for this. I have so much stuff, but I want to share it all with you. Okay, so one of the things you can do, if you have somebody that is super special, or maybe even a family that you're giving a gift to, you could put together a basket for them. So that is, I've kind of showed you an idea. I am not super, I can do the craft part, but I'm not into the presentation part. So please forgive me, but I think this is super practical because I have some honey, some infused honey, vanilla, go figure. And then we have some vanilla extract here, and all of these labels are included with the written materials. So you get all the labels, all the different size bottles, all of that. Then I've got a honey stick. And then I don't really believe in tissue and all that. I'd rather give a dishcloth, something that you can use. So I just stuck that all in there, and you can put a bow on it, and it's perfect. Perfect gift in my eyes. I would love to receive this. And I want to show you one more idea. There's another thing that we do is spices, homemade spice mixes. And so here is the gift basket that I put together for that. And again, I have the dishcloths because I don't want to do with the tissue. But we also have the templates for the little gift cards, and I just wrap it with yarn. I'm just simple. So I love that. I love this old-fashioned. You could just go ahead and pair it with some measuring spoons. And I like to give empty jars because people are like, oh, you can keep spices in mason jars? And they're always just like, they just love that idea because you can get the bigger spoons in there. And if you cook for a lot of people like I do, You can get them in there, and you can't get them in the little teeny tiny bottles. So that is another great idea, is to give a gift basket. And like I said, if you're giving a gift for family, this would be the perfect thing. All the instructions, all the written materials, all the supply list, everything are in the Handmade Christmas Gift Bootcamp. So definitely check it out. Bill probably has a link, hopefully, on the screen. It is christmasgiftbootcamp.com. So go there, check it out. There's more information on the page, and I hope to see you in the group there. Okay, so remember, being self-reliant is not about just you. It is about you taking care of yourself so you can take care of the ones that you love. Take care until we talk again. I'm so glad you could join me today. Here's what to do next. Head over to selfreliantlife.tv to pick up the show notes for this episode and to watch replays of older episodes. To go directly to the show notes for this episode, go to selfreliantlife.tv, and then without a space, type a / and then the number of today's episode. You can watch this show live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, live on Facebook or the Periscope app. Don't forget to stop by selfreliantschool.com/free to get your free Self-Reliant School videos that will help you get started living a self-reliant life. Also, if you're listening to this show as a podcast and you've liked what you've heard today, please subscribe through Stitcher, iTunes, or your favorite podcast app. If you're on a mobile device, just search for the Self-Reliant Living Show. If you're on a laptop or desktop, just go to selfreliantlife.tv/iTunes. And while you're there, please leave a review. I love to hear from you. You leaving feedback makes it easier for others that are interested in living a self-reliant life to find my podcast. Take care until we talk again.